My daughter Kate, she had always been active in sports. She played soccer, baseball, softball, volleyball, basketball.
When the crew was calling in her date of birth, thinking that she was right around my younger brother's age.
This was one of those calls that I will remember for, the rest of my career.
Sunday morning, March 16th, she got up about 4 in the morning and went to Yosemite with her friend. And the last text I got from her was about 7:15, said, "In Yosemite, minimal service, I won't be home for dinner." And about 2 o'clock that afternoon, I got a call from our son. He called me and said, "Mom, Kate fell off her skateboard and she's not breathing and her heart's not beating and there's blood coming out of both ears."
The park medics were already on scene in their ambulance.
When the paramedics got there, they had to shock her twice because her heart wasn't beating. They got her heart started and they intubated her. And as she got loaded onto the ambulance, she opened her eyes and she looked at her friend Michaela.
Landed in Yosemite, shut down. The crew went in to prepare her. It took a little bit longer. They said that she was more critical than they were told when we left for the call.
My partner and I pretty much went into overdrive and figured that she was very critical and we needed to get her to a hospital or trauma center as quick as we could.
I just remember thinking that if she wasn't able to pull through it, I just put myself in, her thinking of her family.
I knew in my heart that it didn't matter what they tried for her. I knew that there was nothing that was going to help her. About 8 a.m. on Monday, March 17th, she was declared brain dead, meaning there was no hope for recovery. When she turned 18, her driver's license came for renewal, and she looked at me and said, "I'm not going to be an organ donor, Mom." And my first thought was, that's okay, we haven't lost anything. She's never going to have an opportunity to be an organ donor. And she asked if I was going to donate. I said, "Kate, when I die, I'm not going to need my organs. So I'm going to give them everything I have because I might be able to help someone else." And she said, "Okay, then I will too." Calls went out to people on the waiting list to get to their medical center where the transplant would be done. And Wednesday morning, she wasn't breathing on her own. There was no brain activity, but we sent her in there with her heart beating, knowing that she was never coming out. And that is probably one of the worst experiences I've ever had. But then, in almost the next second, I realized all the good that she did and the people that she helped who had not done anything wrong. The man that received her heart and kidney, he hadn't done anything wrong. Kate didn't do anything wrong. So I saw it as an opportunity to find something good in a tragedy. And that's why I volunteer for the Donor Network, because you have to find something good. A lot of people that volunteer for them have received an organ, but very few are related to the donor. So it's a different perspective than what they're normally hearing. I never dreamed that I would have the opportunity to meet her pilot or the medic on board or her flight nurse. It never entered my mind that that would even be a possibility.
Seeing the strength that her mom had to come to the airport, to come here and meet us as the crews, I know that that had to take a lot of strength for her to do that and to be able to do that. There is a positive outcome that she's making that contribution and trying to spread awareness.
Just hearing about what happened after she died and how she was able to affect other people, I think it's very interesting and very admirable that she donated her organs, and I'm excited to meet her mom and to, get to know kind of who her daughter was.
She shared her gifts of life with people she didn't know, and now I share her story, hoping that people that hear her story will share it as well and just encourage people to consider becoming organ donors.